Hey there, welcome to Authentically Raw. I'm your host, Jamie Berris. I'm not sure which day of the week you are listening to this on, but this episode was dropped on a Sunday, and I'm going to drop episodes such as this every Sunday. And I'm going to start it out with a Bible verse. I was flipping through some of, I guess we'll call it Jamie's journals, and I will write down a Bible verse that I need to soak in. And I just think it's ironic, the one that I flipped through, because I have been feeling a little anxiety lately. And it is crazy how God speaks to us, in us, and through us. So here we go. The verse is, "They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord." And that is Psalm 112:7. Here's what I wrote. So I hope this doesn't sound very robotic, because I am word for word reading my words. I might get sidetracked and talk. I probably will. But here it goes. Here's what I wrote about this. A fear of bad news equals, like I put the equal sign, worry, equals anxiety. I went into coaching mode here with myself, and the question I wrote down was, is your mind occupied with worry? Your body full of anxiety? I wrote, when our minds are spinning and ruminating, we push God out. Whatever occupies your mind the most becomes your idol, your God. Do you worship fear, Jamie? Do you indulge in excessive worry and rumination? I had like 3 question marks there and a star. And then I also asked, until your body is riddled with anxiety. So I'm going to read the verse really quick again before I go back on. They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. Then I said, the only way to push or pull the parasite of fear and worry out of your mind is to renew your trust in God. He never leaves you or forsakes you. I guess I'm writing like in the third person to myself. I'm half coaching, half speaking. I do this a lot. It's weird. I went on to say, we must guard our thoughts by remaining in the presence of God. I asked another question here. Do you idolize and consume yourself with anxiety and fear? I wrote, when we worship God and put our trust in Him, He is our idol, and He should be our idol. Our hearts remain steadfast, and we have no fear of bad news. And have you ever thought of this, that only God truly knows what goes on in your head? Like, your mind is invisible to other people. Your thoughts are what you're truly thinking. Sure, your life plays out a little bit of that, but God constantly knows our thoughts. He knows what we idolize. And I don't want to idolize anxiety and become it. I mean, most people think of idolizing as idolizing a person or a thing, but do you idolize your fears? And I'm not talking just anxiety that can normally creep up, that it's okay, it's a normal emotion, and it's trying to tell us something. I'm speaking more about that level of anxiety that so many of us carry around all day because we are trying to control everything outside of us. We're trying to control future events, trying to control what people do, And I started to realize it's this fear of bad news. What will happen if I'm not controlling everything? You know what will happen? When we make God our idol and we put our trust in Him, our hearts will remain steadfast. We will have no fear of bad news. We will get rid of that anxiety and that worry. And you know what we'll have instead? His inner peace. As always, I'm rooting for you. Be real, be raw, be authentic. Thank you so much for being here as we kick off this podcast together. I really appreciate you joining me on this journey because I'm well aware you could be doing or listening to anything right now. Hey, if you enjoy the Authentically Raw content, please support the show by following, rating, and reviewing on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. You can also follow me on social media for daily inspiration. Head over to my website, jamieberris.com, to sign up for weekly transformation tips. Or if you're interested in coaching, I currently have 3 openings for one-on-one coaching. If you're looking for an empowering community, we'd love for you to join us in the Transformation Tribe, our group coaching membership. More info available on my website under the Life Coaching and Membership tabs. One last thing, I'm rooting for you. Be real, be raw, be authentic.